Alright, what is up everybody? Second try, let's get this go-round down. Stevie Breach coming to you here with STS Radio. We're going to be kicking off a long night tonight, talking all about wrestling. You know the drill, this is how we do it. Basically, it's pay-per-view week. WWE Hell in the Cell 2014 going down on Sunday. So, in this episode of STS Radio, we're going to be going down the whole entire card from top to bottom. I can honestly say that after Night of Champions, I really thought that Hell in the Cell was going to be a great pay-per-view. You saw at Night of Champions, John Cena almost defeating Brock Lesnar before Seth Rollins came running down, giving the curb stomp to John Cena and Brock Lesnar, trying to cash in and become champion, and really costing John Cena that chance of becoming the 16-time world champion, tying Ric Flair's record. And just I don't really think that the record makes the man. I don't think if John Cena, goes on and holds the championship 25 times, people are going to look at John Cena any different than they do today. I think John Cena is one of the biggest stars in professional wrestling's history, and there's some people that think that John Cena shouldn't even be able to lace up his own neon green tennis shoes and get in that ring. There's just there's no real in the middle on Cena. People think that he's the best in the world, or people think that he's just complete and utter trash. But I've always found John Cena really, really entertaining, and the fact that I thought that he was going to be coming to Hell in the Cell and having a match against Brock Lesnar, for the third go round, he got his ass kicked at SummerSlam, then he almost won it, but the outside interference, and I thought basically the Hell in the Cell was going to be that deciding factor, making sure nobody got in, nobody was able to get out, and just be used for what a cage or a Hell in the Cell was created for. And next thing you know, we're hearing reports that Brock's not going to be on the Hell in the Cell show, and now there's reports that he's not going to be used until January, basically having a match at the Royal Rumble, and that'll kick off the road to WrestleMania for him, seeing what direction he's going to go in. I don't know. This is a weird thing for me to happen. I think a lot of people were really excited about Brock Lesnar winning the championship and then becoming the champion, because he is sort of like the one guy that you can put his name up in lights and it's going to bring people running, because people know Brock Lesnar as, the WWE wrestler. People know Brock Lesnar as the UFC star, and he's sort of a cross-branded entertainer that everybody knows his name. When you say it, you just know it. And you know that shit's about to go down. It doesn't matter if it's inside of an octagon or inside of that the ring inside of a WWE arena. Some people are going to get thrown around. I mean, the John Cena match with the 16 German suplexes, I think, was a little bit more than I think anybody else was looking for. SummerSlam was an awesome night, an awesome show, and just showing how big and brutal Brock Lesnar was. With a champion of a company who's not on shows, it makes it very, very weird. I went through mixed emotions with the Hell in the Cell pay-per-view. Basically, like I said, I thought it was going to be one of the best pay-per-views of the whole year. Little did we know that, next thing you know, they're talking about John Cena versus Dean Ambrose and a contract on a pole match to open up the show, and that would sort of spout off like a tournament. The matches that would follow, the winner getting Seth Rollins, the loser getting Randy Orton, and I don't think anybody was really looking forward to that. They hot shot the angle. They put it on Monday Night Raw. Everybody saw what happened, basically, with the Authority being out there. I don't know if Seth Rollins had input into who he wanted to face, if he wanted to face Dean Ambrose, if he wanted to face John Cena. It didn't really make sense for him to be out there, since he was running away from both guys. He didn't want to fight either one, but yet he was so vocal on Monday Night Raw during this match, as they heckled the people, telling people that, he wanted to see him fight because he wanted to see them beat each other up. Instead of, being, fresh for them. But, basically with the screw job finish, with distracting John Cena, Dean Ambrose was to go up the pole and grab the contract when nobody was really paying attention. And then he flaunted it in front of John Cena's face, acting like he wasn't going to pull it down, only for Cena to run those 2 steps across the ring to try and get himself into the fight to get the contract, only to pull it off and give him the "you can't see me" right there in his face, which basically set up Dean Ambrose versus Seth Rollins as a Hell in the Cell match. Randy Orton and asked to take on the other one. He didn't say the loser because he didn't want to put anybody down. But it'd be John Cena going up against Randy Orton. Of course, from there, it all falls down. Brie Bella versus Nikki Bella. Singles match. The winner gets to have the loser as her personal assistant for 30 days. And if they do not comply with everything that's going along, they will be fired or forced to quit WWE, which sort of goes along with, Brie Bella wasn't even working for the WWE, just a few months ago during the feud with Stephanie McMahon. Instead of being forced to have her husband be stripped of the championship, she slapped Stephanie McMahon and told her that she quit and she wasn't going to be used as a pawn in her game, only for Nikki to help get her job back after months of torture, and Brie going on to having a match with Stephanie McMahon at SummerSlam with her comeback, where Nikki would turn on her for trying to take the spotlight away from her as being the bigger Bella. I don't know. It's just weird to add that stipulation. Just to have the assistants roll for 30 days was enough for me. But when they put the thing on there about having to quit if they didn't go along with it, maybe they're just trying to make sure everybody knows that there is sort of a stipulation if they don't do what the other one says. Because I don't really see Nikki as being somebody, even if she loses the match, is going to listen to Brie. But I see Nikki as somebody who goes into the bathroom, takes some sort of a deuce, and floods the bathroom and makes Brie go in there and clean up the bathroom after she's done. Then we have the United States Championship match, Sheamus versus Miz. Big Show versus Rusev is something that I'm really looking forward to. 7-month feud of AJ versus Paige, which I hope is really coming to an end here for the Divas Championship. And then, of course, the rematch from the Night of Champions, Goldust and Stardust going up against the Usos for the Tag Team Championship. This all comes together to make a very good show. We're very, very well-rounded. I think a lot of people are going to be getting down, really liking watching this. So, thumbs up all around. Stick with me here on STS Radio. We're going to go through each match, match by match, and just let's go with the flow.